Hey, good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday morning here on Motivated Strength. I'm your host, Shane Schultz. We do this show so that you can start your day in a motivated, positive way. That way you can take on life's challenges as they are, but more importantly, as you are right now. Now, if you happen to be new to the show, I want to say thank you for taking the time to see what it is that we're doing here. Now, what we do here with Motivated Strength is that we utilize what I call the optimal frame of mind. The optimal frame of mind is a higher way of thinking. That higher way of thinking will lead you to a higher level of living. Let me say that again. That higher way of thinking will lead you to a higher level of living. Isn't that what you're looking for in the first place? It doesn't matter with what it is that you might be going through. And I got to tell you, Motivated Strength comes from a number of different challenges. Because I know what having challenges is like. I know what having challenges and suffering through them is like. I've dealt with clinical depression. I've dealt with traits of borderline personality disorder. I've dealt with PTSD. I've dealt with codependency. I've dealt with addiction. I've dealt with chronic nerve pain. So I know what it's like to go through some of these things. Now, motivated strength obviously comes from motivation. It also comes from personal development. The reason why I say that is because I utilized that when I was younger, going through my challenges and struggles. And it helped me be a little bit better. Now, was it ever perfect? The answer is no. It never was, never will be. But it was incrementally better. It was just a little bit better at times. Sometimes it was so minutely better, but it was still better. It was the way that I needed to look at things. It was the way that I needed to find things in a different order or a different value than what it is that I was putting. Now, here's the thing. When we're going through our challenges and struggles, it's real hard to see things in a way that's going to be productive for us. Why? Because we validate ourselves for what it is that we're going through. We validate ourselves through our challenges. We validate ourselves through our pain. We validate ourselves through our illness. Why? Because people don't understand what it is that we go through sometimes. I understand that. I get that. I've been there. I've gone through it. I got to tell you, I bought the t-shirt a number of times. Here's the thing. What I'm trying to help you with is you. I'm trying to help you, the person. See, there are therapists, there are psychiatrists, there are people out there who are professionals who will help you be able to get to a different frame, a different way of looking at things. Me, I'm going to help you, the person, right? You, the person, so that you can be where it is that you want to be versus what you may merely exist to be. See, when we're existing, we're not living anymore. When we're not living anymore, we're not feeling the purpose. We're not feeling the passion that we have, that we deserve, that we're capable of. We are simply just existing. I know what that's like. There were 2 years in my life that I did not feel my heartbeat. I didn't feel my heartbeat. Do you hear me? I didn't feel my heartbeat for 2 years. Now, obviously, I knew it was beating, but I didn't feel it. Why? Because I was merely existing in life. I wasn't living it anymore. I was reacting to what things were. I was like a boat that was out in the middle of the ocean, just kind of going with the waves. Wherever they go, that's where it is that the boat would go. That's where my life would go. I would react to what was going on. I would react to the symptom. I would react to the feeling. I would react to the circumstance. And while I was doing that, I was suffering. Now, what we try to do here on Motivated Strength is that we utilize the optimal frame of mind because we realize that we have more power than what it is that we might think. And that's what we're talking about all week long here. We're talking about power. We're talking about giving ourselves the permission to have the power. We're talking about having the people and having the power of knowing who it is that's going to be around us and keeping the people that are going to make a difference for us as opposed to the people that are going to hold us back. We have that power. We also have the power of planning. Power of planning allows us to be able to get the things done that we need to get done. The things that we want to get done. The things that we need to get done is something that we just normally do as is in a survivor mode. Well, we're not just talking about survival here. We're talking about living. And how it is that you get things done in living mode is that you have the power of planning. So we talked about those things so far. Now, let me tell you this. A number of you have come to me and said, listen, I like your show. I like your thought and everything like that. But man, I got to tell you, I go through this. And I just don't feel like I have the power anymore. I just don't feel as if like I have the capability of being able to make that difference that I want to. In fact, I know that my pain really keeps me from doing that. I know that my illness really keeps me from doing that. I know that my chronic life schedule really keeps me from doing that. I understand. I get it. I've been there. There was a point in time as to where I had to take my life basically and put it on the sideline so that I could go to the therapy sessions, so that I could go to the group sessions, so that I could go to my psychiatrist, so I could go to my speech therapist. That's right, I said my speech therapist. Why? Because I had what amounted to a stroke when I was in my suffering. I had what amounted to a stroke, so I had to go to therapy. I had to go to speech therapy. I had to go to physical therapy. I had to go to psych therapy. I had to go to group sessions. I had to go to all those things. I know what that's like. Now, here's the thing. I'm here to tell you that you are capable of making a difference. And even more so, remember, we're not talking about perfection here. We're talking about a difference. What's a difference? Incrementally is a difference. When you are making a difference for yourself, that's all that matters to get you started. Now, I'm not going to tell you that there's a ceiling here, right? I'm not going to tell you that because I want you to reach outside of what it is that you're ailed by. I want you to reach out of your comfortability. I want you to reach out of your familiarity of what it is that you might be going through. I want you to reach outside so that you could crash through the ceiling, so that you can be more than those challenges, so that you can be who it is that you're meant to be, as opposed to who you might merely exist to be. And the only way that we find that out is when we push it, when we do what it is that it is necessary for us to get there. And guess what? There's going to be a point in time as to where circumstances, where our inabilities, where our mobility, where our feelings, where our days, where things happen that are going to knock us down from where it is that we thought that we were going to go. And that's why we plan things, right? We plan things so that it makes it easier. It doesn't make it perfect. It just makes it a little bit easier. Now, here's the thing that's going to empower you. And that is, stop doing things that are perfect. Stop thinking that you need to be perfect in order to be able to make a difference. Because I'm here to tell you, the person that is actually working on what it is that makes a difference for them, listen, it doesn't matter how slow you go. If you are doing anything, then you are doing more than the person who is doing nothing. If you're doing anything, you're doing more than the person that's doing nothing. You're lapping that person. You are doing something that's going to make a difference for you. You are doing something that's going to make a difference for others around you. So we need to stop worrying about, doing things in a perfect way. We need to stop worrying about doing things that are an expected way, right? We need to just do, right? What's that Nike commercial? Just do it, right? Just do it. Just get going. Just move forward. Just get to the point as to where you start clicking off that list of things that you wanted to accomplish. And when you start realizing this, I promise you, you're going to have a difference in your life. You're going to realize that your life is full of passion again. You're going to realize that your life is full of purpose. You're going to realize that you have the capability of crashing through the ceiling that you kept on hitting your head on. And that is despite what it is that you're ailed by. Listen, this show based off of, chronic pain, chronic illness, mental illness, life experiences that you just can't let go. Listen, I know what that's like, but I'm here to tell you that you still have the power to make a difference. And if you stop trying to be perfect, if you stop putting the bar so high that you realize that you can't even get there and you don't even get started, well, then once you start doing that, you will realize that the bar needs to be here so that when you actually make that bar, you start feeling like you're accomplishing something. And then you raise the bar a little bit higher. See, you do it incrementally. This is all part of planning, right? The power of planning we talked about yesterday. So let's talk about utilizing that power of planning. It's incremental changes. It's incremental improvements that are making a difference for you. It's when you start realizing that you can accomplish something, when you start realizing that those goals are clicking off left and right down the list, you are getting things done. When you start realizing that, you start having a purpose again. You start having passion. You start having value despite what it is that you're ailed by. It does not matter whether you're going through the pain. It does not matter whether you're going through the illness. It does not matter whether you're going through the stigma. If you are sitting there and you are seeing for yourself that you are making a difference not only for yourself and for others, you don't care about what is in your way. You don't care about what it is that is around you. You care about what it is that you are meant to be as opposed to what you may merely exist to be. Because you realize that you can make an accomplishment. You can do the things that you want to. You can be successful in a lot of ways despite what it is that you're ailed by. That's what motivated strength is all about. That's the optimal frame of mind. It's a different way of thinking. That different way of thinking, I promise you, that higher way of thinking is going to lead you to a higher level of living. A higher level of living of what it is that you might not have even realized that you could get to again. That you might not have even listen, you might actually get to a higher level of living despite what it is that you're ailed by, or here's one, before when you were fine, when you weren't dealing with chronic nerve pain, when you were going to school, when you had your aspirations, when you had your dreams, you might actually still reach up above those levels because you now value having the ability to do that. See, that's where it compounds, right? It's compounded interest because now you're invested even more because you had it taken away from you for a while. So now you are invested in it even more so as to be able to be who it is you're meant to be. Now listen, you're more than the challenges that you face. That is not even up for discussion. I promise you, you are. Now what we're going to do is we're going to utilize our strengths. We're going to utilize our capabilities to be able to be who it is that we're meant to be, even though we go through the things that we go through. All right? We do this show Monday through Friday. We do this show so that you can start your day in a motivated, positive way. That way you can take on life's challenges as they are, but more importantly, as you are right now. Now, if you are having a tough time, if you're feeling stuck, if you feel like I'm not making any sense to you, please let me know what it is that I can do for you. Listen, I love likes. I really do. Whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be on YouTube, I love them. But I also really enjoy having comments because the comments allow me to interact with you. They allow me to be able to make a difference in a different way so as to be able to get to you personally so that we can get you where you want to be. We can start working on some things in order to be able to help you, all right, to get where you're meant to be as opposed to where you might merely exist to be, all right? We do this show Monday through Friday. We do this show so that you can be the best you that you can be, not only for yourself, but also for others. I hope you have an extraordinary day. We'll talk to you again soon.